I'm watering them about, I promise you, about 8 minutes every cycle.
Come on, man.
No, I'm being serious.
8 minutes is nothing.
Yeah, but I do it like 3 times a day.
That's terrible.
Is it really?
You think 8 minutes goes 5, 10 feet below ground?
I don't know.
No. What's up, guys? This is Al, and in today's episode, I got another 911 call. So the roots of this plant right here, this is a desert orchid. They're uplifting. They're growing on the surface of the ground, and they're about to uplift the entire house. So in today's episode, I'm gonna be addressing this plant right here. What's going on with the root system? What's causing the root system to grow that way? And also, I'm gonna be addressing why the cypress trees are burning up, even though they're watering. So if you want to find out why, well, stick to the end. All right, guys, so this is an orchid tree. It has been in the ground, I think, for about 3 years or so. And recently, I would say within this year, there's a big root up here, over here, that is growing above the surface, and is growing underneath this concrete border right here towards the house. And the owner of the house is actually worrying about the root system getting bigger over the years and uplifting the foundation. Is that going to happen? Well, check this out. Let's address the issue why this root is all the way up here instead of growing into the ground. So this desert orchid tree has a taproot system, and it grows straight down in the ground, but it's not growing in the ground, it's actually growing on the surface. And the reason it's actually coming this way is simply because this garden bed right here gets water every single day. So most of the water is on the surface over here, and well, the tree is seeking the water, so it's gonna go where the water is. And that's the main reason why the root system is staying on the surface and coming this way, because this is where the water is. Now, this tree right here has a drip system. As you can see, it has 3 lines right here, and each dripper, I think this is a 2-gallon-an-hour emitter, it has 3 of them. Now, the customer here, he waters for 8 minutes twice a day. 8 minutes, it's literally not even a gallon of water. Twice a day, it means nothing. And it's hard to see on the video, but this is a downhill. So most of the water that's actually pulling there is just going down the sidewalk over there. So how do we fix this problem? Well, the problem is you need to water longer. You need to deep water. So deep water takes a very long time. Our soil is clay, and this is a hill. So in order to fix this problem and prevent this root system from actually going that way even farther, he needs to start watering for hours. How long is it gonna take? Well, I would say if this was my yard in this soil with that type of irrigation system, I would probably start with 6 to 8 hours easily, because I want the water to go several feet into the ground, not just half an inch. I want it to go 5-10 feet below ground, where the root system of this plant actually wants to grow and drink the water. If that is not fixed, this is going to keep on happening, and the root system is going to get bigger. It's going to mess up the concrete border right here. Now the root system of this plant, this is a desert orchid again, it's not strong enough to uplift the house, so the house is safe, but all this over here, it's going to get destroyed. So in order to fix this problem from getting worse, he needs to water longer. Now this is a downhill as well, so if he waters for 6-8 hours straight, most of the water is going to run down this area right here, and most likely it's going to pull on the sidewalk. Now this is an HOA neighborhood where you pay somebody to tell you what to do, so if that happens, he's probably going to get a ticket. He doesn't want that. So what are we going to do? Well, the first thing to do is we're gonna break off that watering into maybe 2 or 3 waterings. Instead of one single 6 to 8 hour cycle, we're probably gonna do 2 3-hour cycles, or even 3 2-hour cycles. So that way it will allow the water to somewhat pull in this area right here, soak into the ground, and then wait a few more hours, and then run again for another 2 hours. This tree right here is gonna be the same issue. But so far, right now, is the root system of this plant is not coming on the surface, but eventually it will, and it will destroy this entire area. So this water also needs to be deep water. So how do we fix this root system growing above the ground? Well, the only fix for this is to actually cut it off. So get a saw right there, cut it off, and either dig it up or just let it decompose over the next year or so. So the easiest way is just to cut it off, and that will prevent the root system from actually getting bigger and destroying the concrete border right there. And with the proper watering, it should stop growing roots into this area. So how long is it going to take for this tree to actually fix itself? easily. Winter is coming right now, so this tree goes dormant in the winter time, so it's not actually gonna get fixed easily until next year. It will take 1 to 2 years before he actually sees any results. But at least now he understands the main problem of this plant. He was shallow watering and the tree was just looking for the water. And this is gonna be 99% of the problems that cause the root system of your plant growing on the surface like this. Now let's go ahead and talk about the cypress right here. So he's got 2 cypress trees in the ground right here on drip irrigation, but he also has 2 of them, one over there and one over there, in containers. And after the summer, he noticed the backside of the cypress trees are burning up. Even though he's watering every single day, he checked the soil in there, it's always wet, it never went dry. So why is one side of the tree burning up and then this one's right here not burning up?
So you're talking about the sun hitting that and reflecting off of that.
Well, it's the wall reflecting the heat.
Why aren't these doing it too? Well, this is doing a little bit, but yeah, you're right.
Because, okay, this is a good example.
Please.
Those are in the ground.
Yeah.
They got roots in the ground.
And they spread out.
There you go, they're stronger. Those are in the containers.
Yeah.
So those guys don't have the root system to actually get as strong as these guys, and they're suffering.
Gotcha.
So that's why.
Is it not enough water, or is it just because the sun reflecting on the wall?
They don't have the space to root out. If you want them to look nice, like these guys, they need to be in the ground.
Okay.
And it's just gonna get worse as they get more root bound in the containers. And no amount of water is gonna fix that. Is it not enough fish emulsion? Not enough sulfur? Not enough special juice? Well, check this out, guys. Let's use a little bit of common sense. So that side of the tree is facing the wall, right? That one over there is also facing the wall. And only that side of this tree is burning up. So if you use a little bit of common sense, what do you think that is? The radiant heat from the wall. This gets really hot, easily in the summer, 150, 160 degrees, radiant heat all day long. Plants sweat for the same reasons you do. If the plant is not able to sweat, what's gonna happen? It's gonna burn, just like this right here. Even though the soil is wet, the plant is not able to sweat fast enough to cool off and it burns. So I told him this, but then he told me, what about the ones in the ground? These guys are fine. If it was the radiant heat, then this plant should be burnt as well. But then I told him, do you see in the soil? These guys are actually rooted into the ground. They were able to expand their root system, become stronger, and that is the only reason why these guys right here did not suffer this summer, while these guys right here suffered this summer. They are root bound in this container and they're not able to grow out the root system to become stronger. So this is always going to be a problem, and it's only going to get worse because at this point the plant is just not able to sweat fast enough to cool off. We are in the desert and these trees are not native to our area, so in extreme temperatures like this summer, they are going to suffer regardless of the fertilizer that you use, regardless of anything that you put in the container or how often you water or anything else. So what is the solution for this problem? Well, these plants need to be taken out of the containers and planted in the ground. Otherwise, next summer it's going to be worse, and maybe summer after that these plants are going to die. Even though they get water, they're not going to be able to withstand the heat. So they need to be put in the ground, and if you want to grow something in containers, put something that has shallow roots, something that's small that you can replace every single year, so that way you don't run into this problem. Super simple solutions, and as you saw, a lot of these gardening issues you can use common sense and fix yourself. So just keep an open mind and don't always listen to the experts out there always telling you that you need to buy this and that to fix common gardening problems. As always, if you like the video, don't forget to like it. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, and I will see you next time.